What an astounding revolution Bitcoin is immune from attack.
Welcome to the Crypto Show's Digital Cash Evolution right here on the Bloomberg Network. And today I am in Santiago, Chile at La BitConf, which is the largest Bitcoin conference in Latin America. I went to this last year. It was fantastic, man. And I am talking with Guillermo Goncalvez, which is similar to Gonzalez, but kind of with a little twist from it is the Portuguese version of Gonzalez.
Yeah.
And so you have an exchange that's in Venezuela called Eldorado, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And tell me first a little bit about the exchange and when you're going to launch, what your plans are with that. And you'll need to hold the mic up. I have it down pretty
Okay,
low.
yeah, sure. Well, the software was ready to operate in April this year, but we actually stopped the launch because of the new rules that the Venezuelan government played regarding cryptocurrency exchanges. So we're now basically finishing the process of obtaining a license for operating as a legal financial institution in Venezuela. So we'll be launching in early next year.
What are the regulations like in Venezuela? As I know, last year there was an exchange there called Monkey Coin, and they were telling me all about how the regulations they had to jump through, and now they're no more. So I mean, how hard is it to work with the legislators in Venezuela for an exchange?
I mean, so far they have been pretty flexible, I have to say. They're asking for many requirements like any other financial institution. And I find that very, very interesting, and we want to do all the process that the government is requiring to actually comply with all the regulations that they are asking for. So far, most exchanges and most software that is being developed is now in this process of finishing the licensing for actually launching their exchanges.
Will one of the requirements be to actually have the Petro, even though we both know it's fake, on your exchange?
Yeah.
You have to agree to carry their shitcoin?
That's a pretty nice question. The idea of creating this regulation for exchanges was actually to promote the Petro,
yeah.
But it's not a requisite. So, for example, Eldorado will be launching without the Petro in the beginning, and when the Petro really exists, or when the Petro finally launch itself, we will study if it's feasible to incorporate it in the exchange.
If you want to keep the guns away from your forehead, you want to do whatever you have to do, and unfortunately that means listing that shitcoin.
Definitely.
How many users are there in Venezuela of cryptocurrency, and how do you plan to market to these users?
Well, Venezuela is one of the cases where adoption is happening because of necessity.
Right.
This year we're closing with about 2,000,000% inflation. That's enters in the category of hyperinflation. Mm-hmm. It's comparable to Zimbabwe or to the Germany before the war. So it's been very, very catastrophic. But this actually has opened a door for cryptocurrency adoption, cryptocurrency payments, merchants, and commerce looking for adapt to this new economy. So
I guess you could boast that Venezuela has the largest adoption in the world of cryptocurrency because of Dash.
Definitely.
Mostly because of Dash. They have 3,000 something businesses, but the problem is that there's not enough crypto coming into the country for people to actually use it as currency. There's from what we were talking about earlier. Like, if there's 3,000 businesses, how many businesses do you think or how many customers are really coming into these businesses to spend their Dash? or Bitcoin? Or
Yeah, I think not much. Mostly persons within the crypto community, mostly
Right.
persons that are already familiar with how to manage crypto assets. But the people from Dash is doing a very good work,
Right.
especially in educating people and promoting the use of cryptocurrencies.
There's a pretty decent amount of funds that are being pumped into Venezuela to fund this. So, those coins are going to end up in the economy. So eventually, the adoption will pick up. How would you reach out to, say, the U.S. or any other country where Venezuelans live to kind of spark remittance? I'm from Texas, and Houston is one of the largest Venezuelan communities in the country. I
have family in Houston.
I need to reach out to Venezuelans in Houston and let them know that this is a great way to send money home.
Yeah.
Why isn't there more focus on that and not so much on, hey, let's get another subway?
Yeah, I think that the greatest case so far, I have seen it with actually local bitcoins.
Right.
It's been by far the best example of an open market for cryptocurrencies and a bridge for cryptocurrencies with the Bolivar. Mm-hmm. Local bitcoins right now has a volume around, it moves around $7 million a week, which is pretty good for Venezuela. And
do you think the supply of local bitcoins in Venezuela is predominantly from miners? Do you think the miners are the ones that are actually supplying
it has
that?
much to do with miners, but the last year we have seen a shift in this volume from miners to actually speculators. In Venezuela we have a huge black market, which is orchestrated because of all the currency controls that we have in our country. So now it's been pretty interesting, because now when you talk about devaluation, about the devaluation of the Bolivar, you actually use as reference the price of bitcoins from local bitcoins, and then you convert it to dollars. So you're saying, okay, now the value of the US dollar in Venezuelan bolivars as today is around 500 Bolivar soberanos. So it's been so big right now and so recognized that people are actually using that way of measure to know the real valuation of the black market cotization of the dollar, which is the only one which is open.
So the people that are on local bitcoins, they're making money by selling Bitcoin. Why aren't they selling other cryptocurrencies as well? What's stopping them from doing that?
The thing is that local Bitcoin works with Bitcoin only as a base currency. So most of the volume that's happening through local Bitcoins happens between the Venezuelan Bolivar and Bitcoin. And the way that they're profiting from this is that they do arbitrage. Mm-hmm. So we have seen many users and many use cases from people which probably have a bank account in Venezuela and might have a cousin or a brother or even a known bank account from them in places like Peru, Chile, Argentina, Colombia, even the United States, where there are big communities of Venezuelans that have flew away from the country because of the economic crisis, and they're using that as a vehicle to actually profit from the difference of the prices of both currencies. And this is also, for answering your previous question, this is also one of the best examples that I have seen for remittances. People who's living abroad is actually using local bitcoins and using Bitcoin to send money to people back in Venezuela, and people back in Venezuela receive the bitcoins in their local bitcoins account, and they change it whenever they need them for bolivars.
Right. How does local bitcoins get around the regulations in Venezuela?
Yeah, that's another interesting question. Local Bitcoin was founded in 2011 and has been operating successfully about 7 years in Venezuela. and the way it has gone around regulation is because they don't rely on a single authority. The way local Bitcoin works is it's like a decentralized marketplace where everybody can post an offer for either buying or selling Bitcoins, and they can use whatever bank account they want. So that makes a market where we have different kinds of perspectives and of people using many different banks accounts. So they don't rely on a single banking institution, or they don't rely on a single person to operate. It's thousands of people which are daily making transactions for buying and selling Bitcoins there.
New business model. Why don't you make altcoins, local altcoins.com?
That's basically the idea of Eldorado. We want to not only have Bitcoin markets, but we want to incorporate most of the.
So you're gonna operate. You're not gonna operate like Poloniex. You're gonna operate more like
local Bitcoins, but incorporating more markets, especially Dash, which is already a cryptocurrency known by Venezuelans.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of places. I mean, well, there's 3,000 places, but what's really impressive is you've got things like Subway. These are like, global chains that are accepting cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
One of the biggest furniture chain that might be similar to Walmart in America, which is called Traki in Venezuela, is now accepting payments in cryptocurrencies. One of my co-workers, who is a very well-educated mathematician who earns less than $80 a month, he actually received his salary in crypto, and last month he went to Traki and he bought like furniture for his apartment, and he paid fully in crypto.
Oh.
So he's receiving his salary in crypto completely, and he's spending it completely in crypto, which is a pretty good example of.
Yeah, I have Rodrigo, who's here, who does the Brazilian Dash channel. He went to Venezuela, and he said he went everywhere and spent his Dash.
Yeah.
Just like he was, easier than he was using the dollar in the U.S. So it's there, the access is there, but we need to get liquidity into the market.
Definitely, right? That's the idea of providing an exchange with all the security measures to actually provide a safe environment for trade and for commerce.
How many exchanges are in Venezuela? Do you know? I mean, because I think there's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, right now operating there are around 6 or 7 exchanges, and the Ministry of Cryptocurrencies in Venezuela recently opened 16 licenses for 16 exchanges. The problem is that not all of them are ready to operate. I mean, they have the licenses, but they don't have the software. Right. In my case, is the opposite. I've been working in the software for two and a half years already. I mean, I started working on the software. Really.
Panda is opening up there. One of the people that are here. They're out of Colombia, but they're Venezuelans that are living in Colombia.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting market, but they'll have to comply with the regulations in Venezuela.
Kiss the ring.
Yeah.
So how can people find out about Eldorado, and when would it be available for people to use in Venezuela?
Okay, cool. Well, actually, tomorrow we will start posting a partnership between Eldorado and a Swiss company called Helvetia Fintech.
Okay.
It's a company run by Enrique Melero, ex-COO of HSBC. And it's a pretty good friend of mine. We were together in Bogota last year in Labit, and we're now here in Chile. And we'll be doing like all the social network launching in the early days of 2019.
Awesome. All right, and it's Guillermo Goncalvez. All right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Shit, I can't get that name right for shit.